Hello Taurus, and welcome to your April 2019 general read. I'm Jade with yesYesYes. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm doing this general. It's for sun, moon, and ascendant or rising signs, and it's going to be based off of the yearly spread. I'll put that link in the box below, as well as my website information if you want to have a personal read, since this is going to be very general. So let's get started here. We've got the Witness from the Mystical Shaman Oracle. This is your overall for the whole year. And this energy is about watching and holding space for everyone else. There's a lot of power in being able to remove yourself from situations and observe. And it's not about criticism. It's about observing without judgment, okay? Really holding space for everyone else is crazy if it needs to be crazy. If it, holding space for everyone else's epiphanies and genius. I'm using all the judgment words, but what I'm trying to say is that whatever everyone else is going through is perfect, okay? And it doesn't really matter. It shouldn't really matter. I don't like that word, shoulds. Holding space for it to happen. So if somebody is exploding or imploding, holding space for them, watching what's happening without being energetically drawn in. Now, if you are, an elder, or if you are working towards, or even if you want to be there for someone, it's totally okay to be there for someone who's going through something, but not being energetically brought down by it, right? I feel like the cutoff from the drama, that's what we're really working towards in this year specifically, because things are popping off. And I think, Taurus, you are observing it. You see it really clearly, probably the way in which your mind works and the earthliness that you come from. I think that you're seeing it really clearly. So just holding space for it without being brought down or brought into it, I guess I should say. So for specifically this month, these are great cards here. You have the Four of Wands. So again, building very strong structures here, and it's clarified by the lilies. So, which is the Lenormand deck. So we're talking about building very strong structures, and this could be for legacy, for antiquity. This could actually be specifically about family, partnership, or for parents, even your ancestors. So, for a very specific few, what I'm feeling is that, there might be a family home that is coming up for conversation. And what I mean by that is maybe there's the passing down of a family home, and this might be made available to you, or you might be purchasing or setting up a family home. The other thing can be that there's a long-term relationship that you're really feeling more comfortable with. Maybe it's you actually have the sight that, oh, this is possible. It could be something that's long-term. Okay, so we're talking about something that's, we're talking about stability, and we're talking about longevity or antiquity. So something that has been going on for a while, or something that's building to go on for a while. Beautiful cards. What is going on for you, Taurus, April? My gosh. So I'm going to do a past, present, future now. We'll see where you're coming from, and then we'll see maybe what those cards will tell us more of, okay? This is the Clenched Tarot. And these cards have been flying. So let's see. I'm doing this, more Four of Wands. I'm doing this in Mercury retrograde time. So that's another reason why things are flying. Okay, so interesting. Four of Wands came up in the upright. So again, building, wanting to make sure that everything's really structurally sound and solid. And this is past, okay? So this might be feeling very comfortable for you as I'm saying it. But we do have the desire for partnership in this building, and I don't think it's quite come about. So I'm wondering if you're making long-term choices for yourself, not worrying about a partner necessarily. Maybe this is just you looking for yourself in long-term. So maybe you're buying a home knowing that it's, this is going to be your home for a number of years, and if the partner, or when the partner comes in, great, they'll move into your home, but this is your space. And I'm feeling that you have been in the past wanting to build this partnership, wanting to do something that is, creative, even if it's not an intimate partnership, but a creative or an action-oriented partnership where you two are out in the world, but it just didn't happen. It just didn't come about, or it just wasn't the right time. And we also have the Tower in the reverse. So there was a resistance to the change that needed to be made in the past, or there was something that came out of, it was a huge change. You don't know where it came from. There was a flip, the switch flipped where it looked like things were moving forward in a certain way, and then everything just kind of flipped and changed for you in terms of maybe the partnership, or even in terms of the stability that we're trying to build. So let's see, this is all past stuff. Let's see what's coming up in the present so that maybe I'll get a clearer idea of what we're talking about. Okay, so we've got Libra, your energy in the reverse. So maybe you're feeling like you took a header, right? In the past, this wasn't quite, it didn't quite work out energetically for you in the past. And I think that it took away from some of your energy. So right now, it seems like you're healing. You really want to be in that place where you feel naturally in your power, where things just kind of come to you naturally. I know so many Venusian people who are guided by Venus, where things just pop up for them. You really don't have to work hard if you didn't want to, Taurus. You really don't. I know that you like to, but I'm feeling that right now your energies are just a little off. It could be because you're being prompted to work less than what feels comfortable for you. And that's an odd thing to say. The reason why I'm saying that is, again, we have these this strong, stable building cards that are already in the upright, okay? So that energy is already out there. You've been putting that out there. It's very clear. So you don't have to work so hard at building right now. What I'm feeling like, and I just had this with another reading, is that it's about receiving right now. It's about looking at all of the things that are blooming based on all the seeds that you've planted. And in the past, you were planting towards a connection, planting towards the stable foundation, perhaps with someone else, and it just didn't work out. So right now you might be doubting, well, that didn't work out. Now I need to change it. Now I need to actually recreate it in a different way. And so what the card is prompting you to do right now is to just relax and don't try too hard, okay? Maybe it's about feeling into what happened in the past. Maybe you just need a little bit more time to recuperate from that. So we also have another card of yours, the King of Pentacles in the reverse. More of your energy just kind of in the reverse. There is so normally, when you're in the upright, you are stable, you are steadily working to get your goals met or issues resolved. You're doing everything very practically, very rationally. It makes sense. These cards being in the reverse are saying do it differently. So either don't work so hard, relax, or try to come at life in a different way. Just try it. I mean, who knows? If you don't like it, you can always stop and go back to the way in which you were. But right now, the power that you have is not in being or doing things the way that you've always done them. The power is in doing things differently. So if you've always, and I'm guessing because you are a very hardworking sign, if you've always worked really hard towards things, why not relax about it and put your energy towards, instead of outwards, inwards? And trying to come up with a specific example. So if you've been building investments, right? We'll just talk straight up finances. If you've been putting your money into, the stock market, and you've done a great job up until this point, right now the cards are urging you to look at where you're investing and maybe put your money into something that would satisfy you in a different way, not in the, stable, grounded, fiery kind of way, but in the emotional way, like something that's a receiving way, okay? Again, I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I'm just saying what the cards are prompting right now. And you're also feeling a little bit outside or out of it, okay? Cut out even maybe from a situation. And it could be resulting from that Two of Wands that was in the reverse where there wasn't that building. So maybe it was a relationship that went down and that was kind of ripped apart and you were left out. This could also be reversed if it's another person. But there's something that is keeping you from feeling connected to the rest of the world. And I think it might just be that you're just not feeling in your power and that the way in which you've done things is not quite working. And that is throwing you off. It's throwing you way off because you're used to, if you keep your head down and you work hard, things will eventually manifest. And right now, you're being urged to do it differently, to play a little bit more, to feel a little bit more free, to trust in things working out, maybe without all of the hard work. Maybe work doesn't have to be hard. Maybe it's not work at all. Maybe it's play. So there's just, there's all kinds of ways you can look at it, but that's just what's going on energetically, what the cards are saying for the present. Now let's see what's coming up for the near future for you, Taurus. This is our April reading for Taurus in the near future. What's coming up here? Okay, there we are. All right. So we have, and it could be a fiery energy. Maybe you're wanting to take on this fiery energy, but it's not quite time yet. There is a female fire sign. Sorry, let me reboot this. This is the Queen of Wands that has come up, and it's in the reverse. So when we talk about the female, I believe that there's masculine and femininity in all of us. So the feminine aspects, and I'm really kind of, working this out. So, this could be, if this doesn't land, that's okay. But the balance of the doing and the feeling, that's how I look at the queens in the masculine suit, is that they're able to take the masculinity of the action. So that would be, the wands are about creating something new, but also being able to create in a way that is connected with the heart center, that is compassionate, that's creating something that is nurturing not only the community, but maybe the planet. So whatever this new, if you're building something, if it's not an actual home, if you're building a new career, the career is being urged to be balanced. It's, you want to build doing the things, but at the same time serving from your heart and feeling nourished in your heart space. We do have that it's not, collaboration is not going to work out, so maybe still doing it on your own, even though you may want to collaborate. There's not quite it's not quite ready yet for the collaboration. That card is here, so it means that there is the potential for that in the future, especially if you turn it around, and especially if you feel more balanced in doing and feeling through the doing. Okay, so Taurus, you're guided by Venus. What I would say first from you is, instead of going at things by let's solve the problem, let's get it done, and then feeling about what just happened, start by feeling what's going on. If there's an issue, how do you feel about it? Identify the feelings first and then take the action from there. So that's what I'm seeing from the cards right now, is that might be the different way of doing things. Now, if that's normal for you, then it's finding even a different way. And there are so many possibilities that I just don't want to go crazy for it. I love that the Seven of Pentacles is here towards the end, and it is in the upright, which means that these are new seeds that you're planting. And it may feel like you're just sitting around and waiting for them to bloom, but these are, we're changing patterns of self. I'm seeing this in many different readings. These are deep patterns that take time to change. So you're putting the seeds out, putting the seeds in the ground of changing the way in which you've done things for forever. Like, we have that Lilies card here, which is a long time in the past. And you could be even changing cultural things that you've learned, cultural cultural influences that don't align with you. You're changing your story, and you're changing the story from generations past in order to move forward for generations. This is deep work, and it's not going to be fast. It doesn't have to feel hard, though. So what I'm finding here is that you wanted to build something in the past, but it didn't quite turn out the way that you wanted. There was a resistance to that big change, the way in, the way in which life needed to be. There was a resistance. In the present, you've got a lot of your personal energy that's kind of upturned. You might feel like a fish out of water. You might feel like you are not in your element, that things are not going your way, that you're just being challenged a lot. And what you are being challenged to do is to go at life differently, to change those patterns so that you're going to feel things first before taking the action, and perhaps looking at the action as something from like a sublime and inspired place versus being hard and diligent about it. Okay, you see that there's a difference in those energies. And in the future, it's what the cards are saying is that you're working still on yourself. There's a potential for collaboration only if you can find a nice balance between feeling first and then doing. But all of these seeds will eventually take root. All of these little changes that you're making in the patterns of who you are will eventually take root. You just have to give it some time and some patience and some hands off, right? So sometimes it's not about overwatering. You have to water just enough and then walk away and let the seed grow, okay? You can't dig it up and see, are you growing a little bit more? You can't dig it, you just have to trust that it's growing and trust that the changes are being made. This is really a difficult thing, I understand, for people who are used to doing and creating their own reality physically. So I'm asking, and the cards are asking for trust that you've done things well in the past, and now why not try it a different way? It's kind of like a playful challenge. Why not? If there's a different way that you've thought about doing something, try it. See how it goes. The cards again are urging you to feel first before acting. And if it doesn't feel right, by all means, don't go there. That's not what I'm saying by any means. But there is a desire for setting up security, stability, home in a new way, and in a way that is healing from the generations before and setting up that structure and stability for generations to come. It's a pivotal point. There's a lot going on. Why not take the moment to feel if it feels right? Why not? And if in the future, when you're feeling more balanced, you might have a collaboration. You might have some help coming in from friends to help you process, or maybe it's even family coming back to help you process. The Lilies card here is also about parentage. So, the parents might come in if if your parents are still alive. If you are the parents, you may be reaching out to help your young person. So, there's a lot of different ways to go about it, but it's ultimately, and if we go back to the overall, allowing the space for things to happen and not being dragged into them energetically or emotionally, and really feeling through what's best for you in your next step forward, and then taking the action. So that's what I'm seeing for you for April, Taurus. I hope this makes sense. If it doesn't, I'm doing my best. But let me know if you have any questions, or if it resonates. I'd love to hear that as well. And hit that like button. I appreciate it so much. It helps the channel out. Thank you so much, and I'm sending you all my love.